A group of smiling people wave as they stand around the festival banner.
Welcome to Robinswood Hill and our inclusive trail. An experience for all the family, in sun or wind and hail. It is here for July as part of Festival, a celebration of communities that are welcoming to all.
Megan climbs the hill to begin the trail. She uses a cane to navigate and is guided by her PA, John. They approach a tree stump marked with a trail symbol.
1. The yellow tramper trail is the one to take. Start out on this path, you can't make a mistake. Soon you will come to an old tree stump. Why not stop to feel its every lump and bump? And as part of this festival of connectivity, you could even put your arms around the tree.
Megan reaches out to touch the tree stump, feeling its surface and exploring the different textures.
Hollow. I suppose that's where it's rotted. Oh, and it's got moss on it as well. Okay, so I guess it's time to listen to the instructions to see which bit of the trail comes next.
You may find that the hill is getting steep, and along the way you might like to count the sheep.
Megan passes carved wooden sheep as she approaches the second trail symbol on a tree by the meadow.
2. Come a little further on to a more open space and pause to admire the view of this place.
I see the cathedral.
That was the cathedral.
Yeah.
Megan and John move through the meadow with a view into Gloucester and the cathedral to the left.
Perhaps you have memories of this hill which come to mind in this time of being still. Is the cathedral in your sight? And the Malvern Hills of impressive height? 3. When you feel ready to set off again, you will find a tree called a plane. What do its big leaves feel like in your fingers? Are they soft and dry, or damp where dew lingers? I simply can't put into words the joy of standing and listening to the birds. Can you pick out any by their songs as they tweet in their melodious throngs?
Megan and John listen to the birds and surrounding sounds.
Well, I've heard some crows. I quite like it that you can hear the traffic from a distance as well. It's a nice gauge of how far away we are from the road.
Feel the crunch of gravel under your feet and the breeze on your face, perhaps even sun's heat. Before you continue along this hike, take a moment to explore what the air tastes like.
They approach a group of pine trees with colourful signs and bunting. Instruments hang from the trees.
4. Keep moving along, you're doing just fine. Can you smell the cluster of pine? Here there are instruments hanging in the trees for you to play as much as you please.
Oh, wow! Oh, that's cool. Oh, we've got a triangle with it. Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Megan plays different instruments, finding each one through touch and exploring the sounds they make.
Oh wow, it's like flower shaped. Oh, it looks sort of flower shaped. Oh.
And then there's 2 more sets of similar instruments around 2 other trees.
We can come here to cheer England on Saturday.
You can work together to make a sound that can be enjoyed for miles around.
Colourful instruments are strung around the wide pine trees. Megan feels down along the bark to find another instrument.
Lower down. In
This
fact,
tree's
there's a
all
little,
crumbly.
also there's a little seat here that you can sit on.
Oh wow,
and
like a little rug.
for
Oh
small
wow.
people.
Oh, that's so cool, there's a bell. That's my favourite. It's like a cowbell.
Megan and John apply hand gel after handling the instruments.
Mango.
Megan and John move into a group of trees to find the next trail station.
So what's next?
The next step says to look to the right.
Okay.
Coming over to the right.
Oh, there's a little thing up here.
Oh.
Oh, there's a hand sign on a tree.
5. And then we come to our next trail site. A group of trees to your right.
They approach a clearing with a pile of wooden blocks.
What will you build with these wooden blocks? Perhaps a house or something outside the box.
The blocks tumble down as Megan touches them. She places a few blocks to make a tower.
I think you can build.
I think that's
Not the way to build it.
optimistic.
There you go.
Two.
There you go.
Leaving the clearing, they pass a Star College sign and continue along the yellow tramper trail. As they enter another meadow, a small tent and doll's house sit in the long grass.
6. Is that a guidepost I see on the grass? And here's a tent to touch as we pass. Imagine the life of a refugee if, from your home, you had to flee.
Tent is sort of grey and blue and white. Oh, completely peg dolls.
Inside the tent are dolls made of pegs, decorated by many different people to represent refugees from different parts of the world.
Do you go into the tent?
You can just sit in it. So here is a box of things
See.
to make.
Okay. Next section is we're looking for lots of rainbow coloured flowers.
They pass through a wide meadow full of flowers of many colours. John describes the scene to Megan.
Red, yellow and blue and green. And then over to the right there's a huge meadow area with all sorts of wildflowers of different colours.
7. At the next guidepost you might like to count the rainbow of flowers in their sheer amount. How many different colours can you see in the beauty of nature, abundant and free?
They enter a quiet space and pause to reflect on connections with others.
So what's next?
So it says we're going to go somewhere a bit quieter. I can actually feel that we're going under trees quieter, but there's something about reflections.
8. From the open meadow, green and exposed, we move to a space that's quiet and enclosed. And after all that colour, I expect you'd like time to rest and reflect. So here are some ideas of things to think about, and others will come to mind, no doubt. When connecting with nature on this trail, are there people you could reconnect with through the likes of email? Or you could follow an insect on the ground and wonder what it sees as it looks around.
So I think the next thing is we're looking for an area with lots of different leaves.
Yes, there's a tree here with some sign with lots of leaves on the picture.
John guides Megan to where she can touch the different leaves to compare their texture.
Wow. See the lights
Oh
there.
yeah.
You know what leaf that is?
I don't know actually. Looks like it's drying out. A lion or something.
9.
Oh.
Here are leaves hanging low and high. Some are damp and some are dry. Their colours and shapes are fun and bold. Does the soil feel hot
That's
or
got
cold?
like a waxy texture on it. Yes. Beautiful. And in the wind they'd all be blowing. Okay.
Megan and John continue down the path, taking care to avoid a deep ditch on the right.
It's nice and wide, but we're aware to our right there's a gully, which I think is the part of their flood defences, so we're going to be careful not to slip into that.
So staying
10. Perhaps you think that all has been explored, but now we come to a trickling ford. If this water were raging and wide, how would you get to the other side? There might be barriers to overcome, as crossing might be more difficult for some. How would you cross the stream if you couldn't see? Or if you couldn't use your hands, how would that be?
Megan and John approach a pond with a trickling ford. They cross it and turn back again.
Thank you so much for taking part. We hope you've enjoyed being at Nature's Heart. Although this is the end of our track, you can do it all again if you turn back. Otherwise, turn right to do a bit more and find lots of other things to explore.
Thank you to Gloucestershire Wildlife Trust, You're Welcome, Active Impact, Barnwood Trust, Right Up Your Street, Star College, Robinswood Forest Church and the writer Megan Paul for their contributions to the Festival 2021 Reconnect Inclusive Trail. Find out more at www.festival.org. Book on our free events at www.yourwelcomegloz.org. Film credits featuring Megan Paul and John Evans. Written by Megan Paul. Narrated by Philip Douch. Directed and produced by Nicole Hasty. Edited and sound designed by Zosie Golding. Audio description by Nicole Hasty.